think this is it's always a challenging geopolitical environment, but this moment in time, I think, adds another challenge to asset allocators. If you're thinking over a long term, you have to figure out how the key flows of capital are going to affect the risk return profile for a lot of investments. And geopolitics plays a lot of role in those capital flows. And this moment in time, I think the coverage of what's happening, particularly in the U.S.-China relationship, is pretty cloudy. And one of the most important things is to come for us to come to conferences like this and speak with people on the ground, speak with people who have insight that might not be captured, the nuance might not be captured in a lot of the print media. So moments and times like this, I think you have to be on the ground. And Bill Dietrich always said, you can't shoot moose from the lodge. And that's how he shared that concept. Again, I think it's a lot of it's geopolitical. Right now, any asset allocator is looking at the stack of risks that are involved in any investment, especially private investments. You have currency, you have regulatory, you have execution risk, of course. Then you also have the geopolitical on top. And right now, we don't know if the geopolitical risk is this or that. And so you have to first make that assessment before you can figure out is the reward for investing commensurate with that risk. So I think it's all focused on that top stack right now. And it's not an easy assessment to make. Well, if you look, we've been investing in emerging markets in Asia since 2006 on the private side. And I just think there's more unknowns around the technology elements that are at the core, I think, of a lot of the geopolitical tensions. And that's hard to underwrite. That's hard to understand. It's hard to see where some of that innovation is going to go and whether those tensions will be exacerbated or moderated over time. So I think that's the real challenge today for allocators. I think you always have to start with the people. If you don't have good people, you can't have a good deal. And when we look at the people element, we try to find authenticity. We try to find, obviously, honesty and integrity, but also a sense of humility. That's always a good thing. And then we look at what the edge might be in a manager. Does that fund have an edge in sourcing, an edge in value creation, an edge in exiting, and whether that edge is sustainable? And then lastly, we will look at the resources that the fund brings to bear on whatever thesis they're pursuing. And sometimes the resources aren't up to the task. So those are sort of the general categories we undertake, hopefully with some skill, before we deploy capital.